viewers, we start now with updates coming in from the West Asia war. In the latest, now U.S. President Donald Trump is saying that the U.S. will leave Iran in 2 to 3 weeks when they are certain the regime cannot build a nuclear weapon for years. Speaking from the Oval Office, Trump said Iran is begging to make a deal, but whether it happens or not is irrelevant to America's timeline. Earlier, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian said Tehran had the necessary will to end the war, provided its enemies guaranteed it would not flare up again. However, missiles continued to be fired from both sides, with Iran striking the U.S. Fifth Fleet base in Bahrain and Kuwait International Airport, while Israeli-U.S. strikes hit Tehran and Beirut. Joining me now for this discussion is retired Lieutenant General Raj Kadyan, who is former Deputy Chief of Army Staff. Lieutenant General, thanks very much for joining us here on NewsX, and a very good morning to you. We start now with our discussion. My first question to you, General Kadyan. The 2026 Iran war began with coordinated US-Israeli strikes that targeted Iranian leadership, including the assassination of Khamenei, nuclear sites, missile infrastructure, and military bases. From a military strategist perspective, how do you assess the initial US-Israeli Operation Epic Fury or Roaring Lion in terms of surprise, precision, and the achievement of the objectives so far? General Kadyan, my question to you. All right, viewers will trying to connect with Lieutenant General there, but for now, these are the details that we are picking up from Trump's latest post. He's saying ready to leave Iran, but of course, that's not what Iran is saying. Iran is seeking guarantees for its plan of action in the war. And the latest that we are getting is that Trump has spoken from the Oval Office, saying Iran is begging to make a deal, but whether it happens or not is irrelevant to America's timetable. Masoud Pezeshkian had said Tehran had the will to end the war, but it needed the enemies to guarantee that the war would not flare again. Missiles are still being fired from either side, even as negotiations go on. In the latest, the U.S. Fifth Fleet base in Bahrain and Kuwait International Airport have also been struck, while Israeli-U.S. strikes have also hit Tehran and Beirut. All right, viewers, we are trying to connect with our guests there, but some more updates are coming in. Now, Israel has reportedly carried out 2 separate strikes in Beirut targeting senior Hezbollah commanders. According to reports, the precision airstrikes hit high-value targets in the Lebanese capital, eliminating key figures within the group. The operations, of course, coming amid the ongoing regional tensions and appear to be part of Israel's continued campaign against Hezbollah leadership. Let's also put that breaking news on our screens, as Israel reportedly carried out 2 separate strikes in Beirut. Please put that breaking news on our screens. I'm reading it out. I request my team in the PCR to put that plate out on the screens as we bring these updates. The operations come amid ongoing regional tension, of course, appear to be part of Israel's continued campaign against Hezbollah leadership. All right, viewers, we're now connected in the discussion by retired Lieutenant General Raj Kadyan. He is the former Deputy Chief of Army Staff, with us in the discussion. Lieutenant General, thanks very much for joining us. A very good morning to you here from NewsX. I want to start with the preliminary question that I have for you as far as the war is concerned. The 2026 war that began on February 28th, Lieutenant General, completely decimated Iranian leadership, including the assassination of Supreme Leader Khamenei, its nuclear sites, missile infrastructure and military bases. From your viewpoint, how do you assess the initial US-Israeli Operation Epic Fury or Roaring Lion in terms of the precision and the achievements of the goals so far? General Kadyan, if you can.
Yeah, the Iran war is on 33rd day today. How far the American and Israelis have succeeded in achieving their aim can only be estimated once you know what their aim was. Nobody knows. Trump keeps sending his daily posts. He keeps changing his objectives. He started by saying that they want a regime change. Then today he says that they have disabled their ability to produce a nuclear bomb. As per the International Atomic Energy Agency, their ability today is the same as it was on 28th of February. They have about 400 kilograms of enriched uranium up to 60%. And they require time of up to 1 year to bring it up to weapon grade, where they can produce maybe 5 to 10 atomic bombs. Trump has now changed his aim. He says we have achieved the regime change. But killing individuals is not the change of regime. Iran was being ruled by the IRGC, Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. They are still in command till today. They have been known for their cruelty, for their harsh policies. Khamenei ruled Iran through them. Today, some of the leaders may have been killed, but that does not finish their philosophy. Trump had right from the first day called on the Iranian public that you rise against your regime, and we are there in support. There is no indication of any uprising in Iran against the regime, more than what it always was. In fact, today it may be less, because more people are fearing being killed. Their aim, announced by Trump and by Secretary of State, are different. Secretary of State, in his briefing 2 days ago, has not mentioned disability of their ability to produce an atomic bomb. Also, when Trump was asked, his secretary was asked, his intelligence chief was asked, was there an imminent threat from Iran to the mainland Americans? She said that only Trump can decide. But out of the countries who can pose a threat to America today, she named China, she named North Korea, she named Pakistan. Iran was not named. So how is it that America is giving full support to Pakistan, even supposedly taking their help in mediation, but Iran is being targeted? I think this is, as I can make out, this was a war which was started by Israel, because for Israel, Iran is a threat for their existence. Iran has been announcing that they will destroy Israel, and America was just pulled in. So the aim is not clear. What success has been achieved cannot be estimated. The Iran's ability, which took Americans by surprise, is to counterattack the Gulf states.
Yeah.
The states where the Americans have their bases, they have also inflicted damages. Damages 2 days ago, the American base in Saudi Arabia. They destroyed one of the AVAC aircraft and some other aircraft.
Yeah. Yes.
One of their aircraft carrier is damaged, although Americans claim it was a fire in the laundry room, which may be possible, because this has happened earlier in 1967 also, USS Enterprise, when there was a fire. But the aircraft carrier is out of action. It is sent to Greece for repair.
Yes.
Iran will count it as a success. There have been other damages caused in Iraq, in Qatar, in UAE. The ability or the confidence of these states in America providing them security has been eroded. That has been the gain for Iran. That has been the loss for America.
Yes.
America, in the next 2 weeks, will wind up the war. They
Okay.
will keep claiming victory that we have changed the regime, we have put back their ability to make nuclear bombs, but all this, there has been no change. The IRGC is still in command. Their ability to produce bomb is still there. As per the Indian Atomic Energy Agency, nothing has been moved out of Isfahan. So the American threat of moving the marine, the land forces, may be just a ruse. They want to put pressure on Iran to agree to their terms. But Iran has not even agreed that they are talking to them. They are saying first there should be a ceasefire, let the battle be over, then we can sit and talk. Even earlier, as late as 26 February, Oman, which was that time mediating, now they refuse to mediate. They had said that Iran has given a firm commitment that they are not going to produce atomic bomb.
Yes, sir. Allow me to
America
ask you my next question as well, Lieutenant General. Now, Iran, like you said, has been responding with sustained missile and drone barrages against Israel and US bases in the Gulf and the energy infrastructure in these countries, including Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, etc., while also disrupting the Strait of Hormuz. What does this really reveal to us, to our viewers, about Iran's residual military doctrine? Especially its shift from calibrated retaliation that we saw in 2024-25 to now, when we are seeing large-scale, dispersed and prolonged attacks, also from the axis of resistance that Iran has backed the Houthis, Hezbollah's Iraqi militia. General, my question to you.
Is a question for
Yes,
me?
yes, General, Lieutenant General, please go on.
Actually, I have a hearing problem, so I'm not very clear. The question is, what next? America has internal problems in stopping the war. There have been widespread protests, no king under that name, but it is against Trump's policies of starting the war. The midterm elections are due in November. The close supporters of Trump, when they know that they will lose elections, even that support base will go. Today, the price of gas in America is close to $5, which is unprecedented.
Yeah.
People are hurt, they are feeling the damage, despite Trump's brave claims that we will bring down the prices, but the prices have gone up. And there is no indication, as long as the war carries on, that the prices will come down. Iran has choked the trade bonds, the Strait of Hormuz. Now even the Houthis have joined the war, and the alternate route, which was called whatever Ab, it had a name, on the Red Sea. They have threatened that we'll block that. That is even narrower than the Strait of Hormuz. So the world economy is being damaged, and the blame clearly will go on America. Iran is getting, supposedly, intelligence brief from Russian. They have their satellite intelligence. The attack on the Iraq at a specific point to disable the Iraq was, as per reports, supplied by Russians. Iran may not have that ability, but Iran till today Both Israel and America have claimed. America says 90% of their missiles and the rocket launch ability has been destroyed. But nobody is saying how much percentage is still left.
Yes.
Iran is still fighting.
Yeah.
They are still counter-attacking. So there is, maybe the scale may be reduced. That is inevitable in war. But it is not zero, certainly.
Okay, sure.
And, okay.
All right. My next question to you then, Lieutenant General. Iran's ballistic missile and drone inventory has also significantly degraded, and the US is also estimating that 1/3 destroyer and another third has been damaged. Yet Iran continues launching these small staggered salvos daily. So in your view, is this a deliberate psychological or attrition strategy, or a sign of depleted stockpiles and launchers? And how effective has the combined US-Israeli air dominance been in suppressing Iran's retaliatory capacity? General Kadyan.
For me?
Yes, General. All these questions are for you, Lieutenant General. Yes.
No. You see, without taking sides, the war between Iran and America comes Israel. Iran is fighting an ideological war. Ideology cannot be defeated by explosives. We have had that experience in Gaza. Israel had a total free run. They completely flattened Gaza. They killed 70,000 people. They killed many of the fighters, but Hamas have not finished. Even in Lebanon, who are a terrorist group supposedly supported by Iran, have not finished. The war is still going on. Yemen Houthis are not finished. The terror groups in Iraq are not finished. So they can come down, you can damage them, you can bring down their intensity, but ideology cannot be beaten just by use of guns and explosives. That's the fact of life. Maybe there will be a setback. Israel has tried the last almost 2.5 years, they've been trying in Gaza. Hamas is still not finished. Gaza is a very small territory. And they had a complete free run. They had total dominance of air. The Hamas didn't have any aircraft. They only had rockets, short range. But the ideology, the word Hamas itself means an ideology. It's an Arabic acronym that they're fighting for an ideology. Iran is being allowed by America to have a free run. Look at their occupation of the West Bank. That is against any accord that was reached in the past, but they are still doing it.
Yes.
America has opened an embassy there. Trump did it in his first tenure. So the world is being moved one-sided. Today, America is dominant power, but the power structure in the world will keep changing.
Yes.
Soviet Union has been dismantled in 1991. But question is, how long will America remain the sole superpower?
Yes. Okay.
Things are going to change. Maybe China will challenge them. At the moment, China is quiet. Their ships are being allowed by Iran to carry their oil. They have not made any comment. Russia has also not made any comment. But the two are together in this is undoubtedly.
Okay.
North Korea is with them. North Korea, all three are nuclear. So it is not easy for America to continue to rule the world. America should have known Iran is not Venezuela,
Yes.
where you can take out the president and still have a normalcy there. They could not have done it in Iran.
Okay.
Iran people are fighting for ideology. Whether that is right or wrong, views can differ.
But would you say, Lieutenant General, that one thing similar between Trump's campaign in Venezuela and Iran is that both countries have oil that Trump wants to take over? He's already deployed about 35,000 troops to the Middle East on land. Is it possible, in your assessment, for the US to take control of the Karg Island?
If you are talking about media, madam, we are being fed news by the Western media. In America, except maybe New York Times, the rest of the media is pro-Trump. So the reality is not being reported. Of course, there are not many journalists in Iran to report the reality, but even what is known is being suppressed by the press. The damage suffered by the Americans, not only in physical terms, but also psychologically, that the confidence of the Arab states in protecting those states against any threat is diminished today. America, as per the figures, is spending $970 million a day on this war.
Yes.
They will, of course, ask the Gulf states to make up part of the loss, which they have done it even in the past. But that can only be partial. The fact is that the pressure within America on Trump to stop the war. Trump has said 4 to 6 weeks, so another 10 days are left. Whether Trump can carry on or not. Yesterday they dropped a bomb 900 pounds near Isfahan. But they are not. But Iran, there is no report that whatever was buried under the rubble in Isfahan has been taken out. The Atomic Energy Agency has not said so. They have not reported that anything has moved out. So Iran had shown no indication that they are in line to prepare an atomic bomb. And maybe in the long run they will. And this war is not going to deter them. This might even spur their efforts to go nuclear. So the future may not be immediate, but 30, 40, 50 years, Iran will be a strong country. That's my reading. And America will not be able to stop them.